or a turnip toss or something to make that hit actually land in comparison to just trying to threaten a space with hitboxes. MuteAce finds a way back with just taking the full time with the float, playing it very, very slow here, and letting NoTag put out all of these feints. But at 138, we're truly in the MuteAce percentages where sometimes MuteAce just avoids every meaningful hit and knows how to just survive.
Yeah, and Peach is getting to those percents now where you're going to get the stray aerials starting to kill. In particular, the up air starts killing at that sort of 170, 180%. But Tale as Old as Time, going to get that stock off the right-hand side, and NoTag with a fragile lead.
Yeah, Mario back air is my favorite projectile. Just putting out, covering all that space and threatening with a powerful, powerful move with a ton of knockback growth. At 132, though, this lead, as you said, very temperamental, very fragile. Any Peach Nair ought to do it. It's just a matter of can Peach initiate well enough in order to get a Nair or a back air that will close out the stock. From center stage, not going to do it. It needs one more defined hit in the corner. Oh, and looking for it, putting out double back airs, but the turnip just resets the situation. Better that than a ruse ground.
And once again, we're seeing it, NoTag living to these ridiculously high percents. Any stray aerial from MuteAce is going to seal the deal. The forward throw, not quite enough from center stage there. 194% on NoTag, lapping that 200 mark, but without the jump, it's going to spell the end.
Yeah, the perfect way to do it for MuteAce. Really wrestling control and of the tempo of the game, even if he's not in the lead, has that was close. Has control over the pace of the game, and despite not being in the lead, you know that MuteAce is trying to at least control the center stage and control neutral, despite being down 70% and NoTag smelling blood in the water, fiending for falling up airs, fiending for grabs, but no dice to jump in down air. He's going to convert for 60%. Bomb!
Oh, but the direction, right? Essentially in the direction that is thrown, so NoTag actually managing to live the situation. Took a hell of a lot of damage. Don't get it twisted. Basically evening it all back up, but we see NoTag once again. He's been doing a lot of feigning around the idea of the edge guard, threatening with the back air, but jumping back on for the ledge trap. But MuteAce not quite going to fall for the feigns just yet. Once again, NoTag stuck in the corner, showing that little bit of patience, just full hops straight back into center stage.
And MuteAce back to these big swings that were getting him caught with whip punishes earlier in this game. Turn up into dash attack, guaranteed conversion, but the fireball intercepted. Minute 38 left in this game. Both players taking their time and knowing that any hit could mean the end of this stock, but we commit as NoTag after so much time. NoTag was playing always on the tempo of I want to be the one hitting second. I'm always going to let you swing first and try and move in to take space or to whiff punish. Finally tries to break that tempo, but MuteAce reacts in turn and finds the punish.
I was going to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that motto is going to be playing over and over in NoTag's head as MuteAce clutches out that first game. But you're absolutely right. This theme of NoTag waiting for MuteAce to swing first is really what kept him in this game. He was showing, as we mentioned, the calm waters of the patient neutral into that fire upon hit, being like, right, we are going and we are going now. But NoTag, again, had some really nice ideas. I did notice some little elements of conditioning as well, particularly after the up airs on the side. We did see, the first couple of times he'd go for a couple of up airs and then go for the immediate forward air and MuteAce would dodge through. And in that last situation, you could see that NoTag did wait for the air dodge, but just didn't quite time it, and the forward air didn't quite come out in time. So I can see already the cogs whirring in NoTag's brain, sort of these elements of conditioning that he's going to hope to catch MuteAce out with. There was a lot of feigning of edge guard situations as well, but no full commitment on them. So we're going to see whether NoTag is ready to put a ring on it in this game too, or whether we're just going to see a little bit more teasing.
Not quite any sort of commitment just yet. MuteAce is the one playing a little bit forward. Again, always representing these big backers, big forward airs. NoTag, first of all, interesting stage choice in general, but Mario deceptively good on flat stages. I mean, FD and Kalos offer just a lot of space where you are forced to interact with Mario's hitboxes, and as a generally faster character, going in with a dash dance grab, it creates a very, very solid gameplay flow that can catch slower characters on the ground and in the air, like Peach. We see the percent lead again start to stack up here for NoTag, playing very slow, confident, and calm. It's just a matter of can you find the final hit. There are those grabs they're stopped by. Flat stage means that MuteAce has to interact with the burst range of Mario with a little bit more directness.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, in particular with this stage, is that Peach can sometimes struggle a little bit to get off the ledge, and like the spacing here, you've got less of an option. Of course, you can elect to go for that upper platform on the side, but realistically, you're still in not that great of a position, because not only are you still at the edge of the stage, but you are stuck above Mario. And let me tell you, Mario, they above their head, and the down air not quite going to seal it just yet, but NoTag still on the hold.
Oh, the jump from ledge was risky, but MuteAce finds his way down, tries to put out a forward air, but a nice tempo break again from NoTag, staying real close, not committing to the dash backs in order to hold center stage. Instead, hunted for the stock and was rewarded. And little rewards like that can go a long way in a game that is certainly in a... We're playing the long game for both players, not trying to commit to anything too risky. MuteAce hunting for up airs to keep the juggle going, knowing that at 100% isn't going to be quite enough for back air to close out the stock, but forward air having a chance to. Needs one more hit here. Joycey and the Twinkie face is at least going to set up for coverage and put on some damage, but not quite until the block string comes out. Double nair.
Wonderful stuff there from MuteAce, finally managing to get that first stop. But one thing that I really want to bring attention to, hold on, a little bit of a bread and butter from Peach. There we go, 56. Wonderful, wonderful things. But these side platforms as well, I've noticed that NoTag has been able to use these alongside Mario's really high full hop to just get out of ledge trap situations completely. MuteAce has been doing a good job, but the limited mobility of Peach, particularly vertically, is something that is beginning to rear its ugly head. And sometimes NoTag has just been able to just full hop over, and MuteAce hasn't got an option just because he can't get there in time. However, MuteAce, I have to say, making me eat my words here, sort of turning on the jets a bit in these ledge trap situations. And NoTag, what started off as a pretty promising first showing here, is now suddenly looking down a bit of a deficit. However, that air dodge gonna get caught, 77%. At the moment, NoTag once again just bringing himself back into this game. Are we done yet? No, we're not, Ubel.
Yeah, we're playing on these platforms, as you mentioned, covering tech chases, able to access them with so much more reliability. MuteAce had a lot of the lead when trying to play the counter hit game whenever NoTag would get in and try to move in. But that only really happens when MuteAce has the lead. The backer out of shield, gonna force NoTag off stage, the stall getting by the turnip. Wall jump trying to put out backers, but MuteAce, unlike NoTag, who is much more willing to play in that range 0, super close face-to-face in order to execute after getting in and all of this time spent getting in, MuteAce wants to hold stage, wants to play at that max range. He wants to make sure that NoTag is working extra hard to try and fight through every single one of these hitboxes, but not that time as the forward air comes down as the whiff punish, and MuteAce reclaims the lead in game number 2, but for how long here, Joycey?
I was going to say 155% here on MuteAce. Once again, NoTag feigning the idea of a back air off stage. MuteAce just holding on for dear life. I mean, we have seen what MuteAce can do at 150% in terms of staying alive, particularly in last hit, even though obviously we're in second stock here. Just how evasive he can play in these situations. The beauty of just avoiding the stray hits, and the ones that do hit on a stage like this, they're not going to be killing just yet. And 103% as we've been going through this, Ubel, it's NoTag is just seeing it just get further and further away.
The fire might be really hot when on hit, but so far NoTag has just been getting every single one of his approach options called out. And as the percent gets higher and you're looking for this stock taking option against MuteAce, you know, it only gets more and more desperate the more you get poked away. 165 has been MuteAce's percent count for a good while. A straight back air, soft hit's not going to do it. Needs that strong hit, but MuteAce in firm position to hold this lead and does so with the...
Like NoTag there as well, a little bit of suspect DI, probably trying to retreat away from MuteAce, and the Nair catching it off guard. 2-0 up at the moment for the Peach player. Again, NoTag has been showing really lovely moments of promise here, you know, particularly getting out of these ledge trap situations for the most part, but it feels like MuteAce has already sort of latched onto these little strengths and almost just tuned it a little more accurate for his own counterplay. And we can see at the moment, though, the tried and true what Peach can do with a down tilt and a dream. 80, 93, just keep it going, MuteAce, shut me up.
Going. We spent the entirety of Game 1 and a lot of Game 2 talking about how MuteAce wants to represent a closed, controlled space with hitboxes and stop NoTag from getting it. Game 3, what is the first thing he'd do? Juxtapose all of that by saying, I'm going to approach you and press nair and press back air and chase you down until you have nothing, no more space to control. Just perfect use of long-standing conditioning, and now all MuteAce needs is a way to confirm this stock and cement this lead, but not quite available there as NoTag scraps out of a danger spot, get the nair out of shield into a little bit of an up air string, still sharking under this platform, perfectly executed, but still not finding the stock on both sides. This first stock is going to cement a lead, and jointly it is MuteAce who finds that straight hit.
I was going to say, it did look like NoTag was sort of being able to sort of smell that blood and just charge straight forward, trying to get the reversal of the situations. However, it is MuteAce, as you say, taking that first stock and only 90, going up to 100%. Not actually in the grand scheme of things. We've seen how high these percents can get in this set. So realistically, there is still a lot of life left in the tank as long as MuteAce plays things a little carefully, using the up tilt as an anti-air, a little bit unorthodox, but hey, it certainly does the trick. And NoTag, at the moment, just look at this respect that NoTag is giving, just running up and shielding, saying you are going to throw out some kind of hitbox, but MuteAce just not having anything.
Perfectly mixing up tempos, timings, and everything in between, stopping NoTag from even just doing the run-in grabs that he had adapted to in the previous game. This is a Mario with, had the jump, used it really, really late. The edge guard was attempted with just the turnip down toss, but no dice, and instead, MuteAce gets to hold the space and the respect from NoTag. Not confident in the shield grabs, not confident in committing to anything out of shield, just letting MuteAce dominate center stage. And for good reason. These Peach buttons are just so hard to interact with if you're not on the ball.
It does feel like the aggression has been replaced with fear in NoTag. We're seeing so many situations where he's just elected to go for a lot more safe options. He's not going for these sort of dominating plays in neutral. He's not trying to get these call-outs. He's just very much saying, actually, you are floating near me. I'm not engaging with you. Lovely shield poke there with the down air and just using the flood to make MuteAce's ascent back to the stage a little bit longer, but no dice at the moment. Lovely catch with the spot dodge into down smash. The GSP special, 3 stocks to 1 in MuteAce's favor.
And that's how you know, it was simple, right? It was spot dodge down smash. But that's how you know that MuteAce is in the lead from an information standpoint, because there was all that time that NoTag spent not grabbing MuteAce as he committed to shield. And finally, the one time he decides to grab, gets spot dodge. It's like, oh, okay, like you just got it. Like,
yeah, there's nothing you can do but respect it at that point where you get called out in that kind of way. And suddenly, what again, that started off as a really close set. We can see the last hit down and not quite connecting, trying to get something started, but can we see it? The back throw may kill at this point, but stunning DI from MuteAce means that life stays on a little bit longer, but the flood nearly did the job, I've got to say.
Yeah, it was close. This is purely the MuteAce percentage, the MuteAce effect even. He's one of the best players at not taking a meaningful hit, and whether it be between like parry, footstool to get out of a dangerous spot, parry into nair or up air at that time to stop NoTag from just looking for a stray hit, any stray hit. Like MuteAce in effect in full control here.
I've got to talk about the fact that MuteAce had the confidence of parrying the last hit of down air at 170%. Yeah. Any mistiming, that was a dead stock immediately, and could have just held shield as well, don't get it twisted. But to have that confidence to go, you know what, I want to get that little bit more. I'm confident I can get this timing. The double up air to fireball, little bit
interesting,
unorthodox, but hey, you know what, any damage is good damage, as they say. And NoTag, again, just trying his best to get back into it. Got a platform extension here, thinking we were going to get a little bit of a back air, but again, NoTag elected to play it safe.
Yeah, trying to find these challenges, trying just to make something happen, like where there could be anything. Putting out a fireball, up air, down air, big pickup. Wasn't a true combo, but MuteAce decided to float out of disadvantage, which let him get perfectly teed up for that big forward air. Gives an opportunity. Mario with rage is a scary thing. 141, almost max rage out here, and I mean, that center platform is so accessible, looking for anything, but the forward air not going to quite do it. 160, we are at that max rage percentage, and the opportunity can be abound if NoTag hovers under this platform and tries to find anything, but the Nair out of shield still not going to do it here. Joycey, we are watching MuteAce look for any stray hit, but the longer this goes, the more that NoTag has a chance. Just not quite there.
I was going to say, NoTag did so well at just getting out of the corner, perfectly calling out the timing of MuteAce electing to go back to center stage, but just sort of overextended that little bit. MuteAce knowing that in that moment, right, if I get this spacing here, the back air will seal the deal, and a close but very solid 3-0 in the favor of MuteAce. Looking really, really solid. Again, that game one, not necessarily shaky, but it felt like NoTag had a really good advantage, had a really solid game plan walking into the set. But then as sort of game two happened, and particularly the start of game three, it feels like MuteAce just had that download ready, made those correct adjustments, and then, hey, we see the result right there.
Yeah, MuteAce really had almost felt like he was caught a little off guard with the fact that